But anyway, again, we're going to get a pattern here. I'm going to go through this quickly because there's not much to talk about in most cases. They had the finals of the number one contender tag team tournament, where the winners of this tournament will get the title match with the Usos next week. And boy, is Jay going to show up? Blah, blah, blah. But it's Ricochet and his big buddy Braun Strowman against Marcel and Marceau of Imperium with Gunther. And again, and I got nothing against the Imperium guys, but it's the same thing with the Usos. They either need to be a top tag team or they need to be stooges for a top single guy. Because when they're stooges for a top single guy, you can't take them seriously as a main event tag team. And they don't use tag teams as main event talent in this company. So it's not like you can say that the Road Warriors and the Rock and Roll Express are on par with Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA, and the Midnight Express and Tully and Arn are on par with Flair and etc., because it's such a wide difference in the way they're used. So point being, I don't buy the teams that are the stooges. But it doesn't matter anyway, because in this match, the pattern starts establishing itself. The bell rings start the match, and in under 2 minutes, they do a spot. Braun is face-to-face with Gunther on the floor, and Kaiser dives over the ropes, but Braun catches him, and then Vinci runs up the buckle and bobbles on the top and dives off like he's going to fucking double cross body him now, but he flips and goes right over Braun's back and crashed and burned on the floor, and the other two fell down. And again, that was the break spot in 90 seconds after the match started. So you just started commercial. But then they came back, and again, just they did shit, and they went through another break, and they came back. And finally, Braun powerbombed Kaiser and tagged Ricochet, and Ricochet got up on Braun's shoulders, and instead of a splash jump off the Giant's shoulders with a splash. You've seen them. They did it with Andre, and have done it with all Andre, the Giants, right? But instead of a splash, which would have been perfect, he tried to do a forward flip and do a senton. But you can't push off to do any kind of form, because I don't care how strong the guy is. If you push off, it's going to throw everybody's balance off. So he just kind of rolled forward and landed with his full weight right in the middle of Kaiser's fucking midsection. And if you slow-mo it, you can see the guy's face go, oh, fuck, what's happened to me? Oh, my guts, my ovaries. 1, 2, 3. I bet you if that hadn't been the finish, the guy said, fuck it, pin me.
That right there was the greatest video for anyone who ever hears, that would never work in a real fight. That could never hurt someone. That killed that guy. He gave him a shoot senton.
Yes. Now, the question in the real fight of whether the guy would lay there for it is up for grabs. But if you stunned a motherfucker long enough, he didn't know it was coming. But so now we're 27 minutes into the show, and that's what we've seen, is that tag team match. And, you know, the main event stars pull up in the back in the parking lot.
I want to ask you a couple things.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a problem with the Ricochet Braun Strowman tag team? Do you think this is maybe a good way of using Braun Strowman?
Actually, it is. It's a good way of using both of them. Because Ricochet, he's a very talented athlete, as we've said. And every once in a while, when he worked with Gunther, he had a great fucking match. He just can't call him for himself because he's going to just do shit, right? So if you use him as the little underdog babyface partner that can do all the athletic shit and everything, but then the big guys can beat the piss out of him, and then he can fight for the tag to the Giant that's bigger than everybody, and you limit Strongman's in-ring as much as possible to basically comebacks and then throwing his little partner around like a sack of wheat, then that's actually a pretty decent way to use them. So I'm not, upset or offended that they're a tag team or that they had this match. It shouldn't have gone 25 fucking minutes. And, and again, Kaiser and Vinci They're good workers, but since they're the Stooges, like the Usos, it diminishes the tag team division. And that's not to say the Usos couldn't be, not Stooges, but not while they're Stooges. See what I'm saying here?
Well, I want to return to that in a second, but I actually thought this was a pretty good match. And I understand what you're saying, how you're supposed to take a match seriously if it's just the flunkies of people. But I thought it was a good match. I liked it.
Yeah. No, they're good workers.